Welcome back, friends. In this lecture, we will discuss about how to identify a null value and how to retrieve the data based on the null value and not null value. So, we already created the student table with five fields, with five values for the tuples. So, you can run this command, select star from student. So, previously we are having five records for this. Four fields are there: student ID, student name, department, marks. So one, two, three, four, five student ID is there, and the student name is mentioned for Suresh, Akash, Mani, Ranjit, Surya, and their respective department and marks are given. Now, in order to understand what is a null value and not null value, we are going to insert some more values into this existing student table. So I am inserting some values into the student table with student ID 6, 7, and 8. So student ID 6 will be for Ramesh, and he belongs to the department CSE, and I am giving the value for Mark as null. Same thing happens for student ID 7 for Varun and student ID 8 for Karna. So after inserting the values, again I am running this query, select star from student. So you can see here, so totally 8 students has been included in the student table. Now we will retrieve the data for not null value as well as for the null value. Okay. So this can be done with the help of the syntax for the null value syntax. So actually it is also mentioned as identifying the missing data. The SQL null is the term used to represent a missing value. A null value in a table is a value in a field that appears to be blank. So at that case, we have to use is null or is not null operator to check for a null value. Okay. So now I am going to identify, I'm going to retrieve the data from the student table who are all the values are not null. For that, we have to use the statement called is not null. Okay. So the syntax will be following like this: select. So I want what are all the columns you need. Those columns can be mentioned here: student ID and student name. So in student name, student is uppercase, is uppercase. Mention it properly, otherwise it won't work because the field names are case sensitive. Then I need the department, then marks. These fields we required. So these are the required fields. So we have to mention the required fields. Then from table name, that is student, where is the class. So we are mentioning that where. So I'm giving marks is not null. So it will display all the fields where the marks is not null. Okay. So it will display the student ID up to 1 to 5. So we will check that in the query section. Just run this query. Now you can see here, it will only display the values which are not null. Okay. So this is the syntax for performing the not null operation. And if you need the values only for the null statements, just copy this, just use the command as is null. That's all. Okay. Now it will display the values which are having null. Okay. The marks are null. So just copy this, select this statement and run this. Now you can see here. So what syntax we have mentioned? Select student ID. I need student ID, student name, department, marks from the student table where marks is null. So for these three persons, the marks are null. That's why it has been displayed according to the syntax. Okay. Now I hope you have understood the concept of checking the missing data with the help of the operator not null and null. Okay. So in the next lecture, we will discuss more about some of the SQL operations using the MySQL workbench. Thank you.